in chapter 4, verse 31, Paul says this, "Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from you, along with all malice." See, there was a reason that Paul didn't just say, put away your anger. Paul knew what the results of our anger were. He knew if we let it fester, it was bitterness. He knew that if we acted on our anger, we would slander people. He knew that if we kept harboring these things, this is what it turned into. It turned into malice. Let all bitterness and wrath and anger and clamor and slander be put away from you, along with, along with all malice. Paul knew how destructive this anger could be. Paul experienced, he had been on the other side of that. He was the guy who was angry at Christians, angry enough to have them killed, angry enough to stand there and hold people's coats while Christians were stoned to death. He knew the other side of it. And he warns the Ephesians, don't let this stuff eat at you. Don't let this be about your heart. Fix your heart. Fix it before things like this wreck your life. Now, sometimes that's easier said than done. I mean, how do we fix our heart? How do we fix that? Now, maybe we can fix our behavior, okay? If we focus on our behavior and we try really hard, maybe we won't lose our temper. But Jesus says if our heart's that way, it's like we're guilty anyway. So how do we fix our heart? And it's a long and complicated answer. Obviously, the first place to start is with God himself, with Jesus. Allow the forgiveness of Jesus to work in our lives. Because ultimately, if we're going to forgive others, if we're going to say, you don't owe me anymore, because that's what our anger is, it's because we've forgiven. Because we've forgiven as Jesus has forgiven.